can't wait for this. Cannot wait. Hi, Joe.
Hi, guys.
Hello, loyal listeners of the Draft Dudes.
A moment I never thought would come.
We'd see the start of tonight's stream.
Right.
What you just heard was the tab popping on Chris Schubert's first career Mighty Swell.
What flavor?
Blackberry.
Good choice.
Seltzer.
Well, never mind.
Joe, are you seeing people?
Alex Smithy, my guy. The best tweet I saw today was from Ross Tucker, who said, if I were Seattle, I'd fire Pete Carroll before I traded Russ Wilson. And that got a quick retweet from @TheJoeMarino.
I mean, I would agree with that as well, but that doesn't mean I don't like Pete.
Championship caliber.
So Pete and Repeat are in a boat. Pete falls out. Who's left?
Repeat.
Pete and Repeat are in a boat, and Pete falls out. So who's left?
Repeat.
Pete and Repeat.
This is so dumb. This is so dumb. Just can we start the pod?
Oh God, that is funny.
You guys are so corny.
What's up, man?
Corny.
Good evening, everyone.
I can't take.
Would you rather in the flesh? Joe didn't get the invite. Joe, this is what happens when this is what happens when you try and sow seeds of dissent between members of the stream. We hashed it out. We figured it out.
Just took you going to Arizona and hugging it out, right?
Correct. So, Chris, I mean, you can still talk.
I could.
He's all freaked out that I'm
the mic's a little far away. I mean,
he's all freaked out that the mic's sitting here, but I feel like you get picked up well enough.
Okay.
And you are here.
It's true.
And you are picking the takes, and you're gonna have to read the takes.
Yeah, I do have to read the takes.
So,
Fontel, we'll get this one right out of the way here. Would you rather eat the spiciest food without drinking anything for 45 minutes, hike up a 5,000-foot mountain with only alcohol as your drink, or live in a house with bees for one?
For one what?
Hour? 1 day? 1 month?
1 year? Fontel, we need to know the context of the bees. I know I'm not deterred by bees. I could tell you that elevation change with only alcohol to drink is probably not going to go well.
I'm probably taking the bees.
Sam says we can be fine,
okay,
by the way.
Good then. We're fine.
Great.
By the way, shout out Sam. I saw your tweet about fixing the Saints for Joe. Basically did all the work for him.
That was a collaborative effort.
I don't think so.
I'm taking the bees here, by the way.
The bee? Really?
I don't care what. Yeah.
People are like oddly afraid of bees. What is that about? Like, you ever been with these people? There's a bee or a wasp or something, and everyone just loses their mind. I'm like, calm down.
Wasps are a little more aggressive, but like we're talking bumblebees. What kind of bee?
Everywhere I go.
Dickie.
Everywhere I go.
Brother, it's an Airbnb.
So outside.
Where are you guys? What part of the world are you?
Scottsdale, Arizona. Is that correct? This is technically Scottsdale?
Correct. Yes, that is correct.
I don't know what time it is outside, but I could tell you what city we're in.
Let's find this one. Okay. Would you rather have Rashad Bateman picks 25 to 30 or Jamar Chase picks 5 through 10?
I would rather have Jamar Chase. I think he's a better player.
Picks 5 through 10, though.
Yeah, it's where I value him in the class. I think it's appropriate value for both players. So I'll go with the better player.
Pretend you have a 85 to 10 range and you have a pick 25 to 30. Have alternative player or alternative player and Bateman.
So that's a different way of putting it. I think if I had a pick in both ranges, I would pick a different player and then get the value in Bateman later on.
Okay, that's fair. And we have Chase rated higher, and we have him graded as he's going to be like a top 8 player for us in the class. So I have no problem with you taking Chase if it's just in a vacuum of one or the other. It's a good question. Chris?
This next one. Would you rather handles the Lions rebuild or the soon-to-be Falcons rebuild?
Falcons already have, or the Lions already have assets. I think that helps their cause.
Falcons have number 4 this year and maybe better existing talent.
But is the downside to that you don't have quite as much flexibility to move forward with? I understand it's a heavier lift, but
brother, if I get Justin Fields at number 4,
which seems like a possibility,
I am swooning.
It's a good point. You've talked me into it. Let's go Falcons.
Would you rather, in a scenario the Jets keep Darnold, would you rather have the Jets take Kyle Pitts at 2 and Elijah Vera Tucker at 23, or Penei Sewell at 2 and Terrence Marshall at 23?
Yo.
Ooh, it's really good. This is outstanding. I think I want Pitts and Vera Tucker.
Really?
Yeah. I think that Pitts is really a difference maker, like in terms of what he can mean for your offense as a weapon. And I think Elijah Vera Tucker is like friggin' good. And I'm pretty comfortable with, Becton is one of my tackle options. I feel I can get another tackle somewhere in the draft that can help me. I'm not getting Kyle Pitts anywhere else.
Surprised you slandered your own favorite LSU wide receiver, Terrace Marshall Jr. How?
Imagine thinking somehow there was slander for Terrace Marshall somewhere in that.
Joe, would you rather wear a vest or not wear a vest?
I don't think I'm a vest guy.
Have you tried to wear a vest?
No.
So how can you say for sure? I didn't know I was a vest guy until I just bought this yesterday. And now
I don't think so.
Vrabel, Brian Flores, they're all vest guys. Put me in the club. I'm a vest guy.
I tried one of those vests that's like a sweater vest, but like it's sort of like cut off here, and so like the sleeves of the dress shirt comes out, and like you have like the
Was it Argyle? I got a bad one of those floating around with a black background and a black shirt on, so it's just a floating head.
That was a shirt. I mean, obviously you liked that picture at some point in your life. I mean, it wasn't like the damn like profile picture for a while and on the website.
Right? Like it's different. Look at it, everybody.
Can we have Joe answer this one? This one's from Sam. Would you rather, for Joe, listen to the Scoop There It Is commercial on repeat for 24 hours or attend an all-day comic book convention in costume? What Sam says it is your viewer.
Yeah, I'm very good at tuning things out of my head, so it wouldn't bother me if that was on all day long. I would easily put that out. I'm not going to some comic convention for that sounds terrible.
Comic-Con up with somebody. Who would he be? Like, who would Joe be at Comic-Con?
Listen, I'm not going to. He would be. He'd be
correct. Listen,
Captain Planet. That's what he would be.
Ninja Turtles.
Captain Planet.
Listen, Ninja Turtles are comics. I know that they are because I have Ninja Turtle comic books. So I would just be a Ninja Turtle. Your connection's just through the roof, guys. Frozen.
Which one? Which turtle?
Leonardo, the best turtle.
All right. Chris?
I'll put another Sam one up there. Would you rather trade for Marshawn Lattimore or have J.C. Horn in the first round?
I think this is Marshawn Lattimore.
You're going to have to give up 2 1s. I
don't really.
Right?
Are you with this? Like, the Saints are going to have to strip some guys down off their roster. Do you think he gets the Jalen Ramsey package?
Absolutely. 2 1s.
I'd take that bet that he doesn't get 2 1s.
What? Lattimore?
I would bet that if Marshawn Lattimore is traded, he would not command 2 1s in the same degree in which Jalen Ramsey did.
Jamal Adams went for 2 1s.
I understand that. But are you willing to take the bet or not?
I'm taking the bet for sure.
I'm in I feel good because I won the Washington versus New York Giants bet this season. So now I'm like ready to make some bets this offseason. As evidenced by, I think this is the second bet we're trying to make this week.
So the caveat here is like if he doesn't get traded, then that doesn't matter. But if Marshawn Lattimore gets traded and it doesn't include 2 first-round picks, then you would win the bet.
Correct. Sorry, Ian.
Yeah, I'm here. You guys are the ones that are on AOL dial-up over there.
Are you in on the bet?
Yeah, I'm in on the bet.
Done. Box of Built Bar on the line. Lock it in.
All right. Would you rather have Ed Oliver or any other D tackle in this class?
The DT1's Christian Barmore, right? This is a disaster.
Connection's not going too well, huh?
Nope.
Joe, Ed Oliver or Christian Barmore?
I don't know. That's the fact that I have to think about it says a lot. You know, like you would think with Ed Oliver entering year 3, him being a top 10 pick, that I would be like, oh, I want Ed Oliver. But I don't think Ed Oliver has played to that level yet, particularly against the run. I think he's been a good pass rusher. I don't know. I might take the younger player.
Are you disappointed with Ed Oliver to this point? Like as a Buffalo Bills fan?
I think it's fair to have a level of disappointment. He came in as a nose tackle at Houston in 5-man, 3-man fronts, and now he's asked to play penetration style 3 technique. And I thought he got better throughout his rookie season. I think this past year with Star Lotulelei opting out, it put him playing a lot more 1 tech, and he had Quentin Jefferson and Vernon Butler playing next to him. Like it just wasn't. They just didn't have the right groupings. And so I think he was a very effective pass rusher, which matters, but his run defense was really below average. So I think there's a level of disappointment. I think there's reasons, but he needs to become a difference maker this year. I have him on notice. I put him on notice a couple different times in the pod this offseason so far.
On Locked On Bills, great listen to put Ed Oliver on notice. So if you want to listen to Joe put Ed Oliver on notice, that's the avenue in which you would do that.
This one, gentlemen. If you're the Bengals, would you rather 1, sign Will Fuller at $15 million a year and draft Penei Sewell, or 2, sign Joe Thuney at $15 million and draft Jamar Chase?
I'm hoping that our potato Wi-Fi works well enough for me to get this thought out coherently here, but I think I am drafting the tackle and signing Will Fuller to 15 per year. There's no question in my mind. I think Jamar Chase can be a better NFL wide receiver than what Will Fuller can be. But Will Fuller has proven that at the NFL level, he can make an impact. He can be a high impact player. I would love to see him with Joe Burrow. And signing an interior offensive lineman for $15 million a year is just a really tough sell as far as I'm concerned.
I'm with you. I like that.
100%?
Yeah, I agree with your take. I agree with your response. I wouldn't change that.
So,
Ooh.
Would you rather? I saw this one and knew it was for you. See, Chris leaves, and now we're cooking with gas here. Let's go. Would you rather have Ifeatu Melifonwu or Trill Williams in the 3rd round of this year's draft?
Melifonwu. I think Melifonwu is going to go a lot higher than that. I think he's a cleaner projection to outside corner. Trill Williams, for some reason, played slot this past year after really good tape as a freshman at corner. Outside corner, I think Melifonwu is the cleaner evaluation. Both good players, though.
Braden, a man after my heart here. Fascinated what your answer is going to be here, Joe. Spend a whole day deep sea fishing or bear hunting.
I would rather do the deep sea fishing. I don't know. I'm not just going to be like sitting up in a tree in Canada in the middle of the winter waiting for a bear to come by. I don't think I would even be able to shoot it. So give me the fishing. Would you be able to shoot a bear?
I'll take the.
Could you do it? Could you
No.
pull the trigger? I couldn't do it.
It feels lame, right? It's like that thing would tear
So
my
lame.
face without a gun. So I'm just gonna sit up in a tree and pop it from a distance. No. Like at least with fishing, I gotta get you into the boat. I gotta look you dead in the eye. I gotta handle you with my hands instead of just the apex predator hunting's not for me.
Kyle, one time I saw a headline. It was somebody mad. They said everyone, they were all upset that dolphins were getting stuck in tuna nets. And somebody said, well, what about the tuna? Nobody cares? You know what I mean? It's like there is, whether it's right or wrong, there is something about like
fish.
Yeah, it's a freaking fish. You know what I mean? It's a fish.
Would you rather for the Eagles go Chase, Stokes, Chaz Surratt, or Farley, Bolton, Amari Rogers?
All of a sudden, Kyle, you went from like 1995 to 2021. You're in HD. You sound good. Everything's great.
Yeah, so I'm watching Chris and Jamie Eisner are pacing around the backyard with the wire. I wish you could see it. Rob, can you take a picture of that, please, so we can forever commemorate this? They're standing on top of the patio out here holding the Wi-Fi thing up. 3 bars. We got 3 bars.
It's working. Whatever they're doing, it's working. Their arms are going to get tired. They might need to rotate back and forth.
Oh.
But you just entered
right.
the 21st century, man.
Feels good. Jamie, you just got to stand up there for the entirety of the show. Outstanding. So, Joe, Chase, Stokes, Surratt, or Farley, Bolton, Amari Rogers?
Ooh, okay. Eagles, Chase, Stokes, Surratt, Farley, Bolton, Rogers. Ooh, I think I like Chase, Stokes, and Surratt the best.
I agree with you. Chase, Stokes, and Surratt, I feel like those are all fairly universal players. No, we don't restart the pod, Jay Durs. First of all, this isn't a pod. It's a live stream. The pod for tomorrow has already been recorded.
Yes, it has.
I think Farley's a better player than Stokes. I think we can agree there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Bolton's a better linebacker than Surratt. I think we agree there. But the impact of Chase and what he can do versus Amari Rogers, who's a perfectly fine player, I think is a big enough difference for me that I would still skew because I still feel good, even though there are lesser options in Stokes and Surratt. The jump from Chase or Rogers to Chase is enough to make the difference for me.
That's exactly where I settled in and why I settled in on that.
Okay. So now I've fallen into the trap of not reading.
Right. You've been out of this groove for a while.
Correct.
Would you like me to take back over?
Shout out to Sean.
It's not even my
McDonald's level
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. So yeah, it's funny. We got here today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Wi-Fi at the house didn't work. So we had to go get a portable hotspot.
Yeah, that's what we're using.
And now that's what we're using. And literally, I wish I was kidding. He's still standing on top of the patio.
I would consider taking the webcam to show everybody, but I don't know what that might do to our connection.
No, we're not going to do that.
So
you want to pick a
Sure.
take?
Sure.
Pick a take.
I saw somebody earlier in the chat. There was a debate on whether or not I knew what cosplay is. And I'm here to tell you that I do know what it is. Against all the doubters.
How do you know what cosplay is there?
Let me tell you the reason why is because in my last line of work, I had an employee that was obsessed with this. And I had no choice but to learn what the hell was going on.
Mitchell, I see your comment, and it's not going to go up, okay? I wasn't born yesterday. I know who that is. Jay Wah, would you rather play in the XFL or an NFL practice squad? Golden Grizz, go ahead, send your mock in the comments. We'll take it.
Which one pays the most? NFL practice squad. You're in the NFL. That's the highest level.
But you don't play at all. You could be like a really plus starter in the CFL, or you can be
but you're not. Nobody cares about CFL. Like
nobody cares about CFL. Joe, we were doing CFL content on Draft Dudes last summer. Not
because we're football idiots. You know what I mean? But like, I want to be on NFL practice squad. Get a chance to, you have a chance to move forward with your career there.
What is your answer here?
Oh, give me the XFL.
XFL.
Right, because in the XFL, I have a chance to stand out and become, an internet sensation. NFL practice squad, I can't do that.
Kyle said, "Jay Wah."
Wow, I don't know.
You're such an idiot.
Rob's saying practice squad for the money. Would you rather have Trevor Lawrence and Will Fuller or Justin Fields and Stephon Diggs?
Man.
So QB 1 and 2 for us. And for full transparency, based on the aggregate grades of all the players, Joe, draft dudes do math. The drop from Lawrence to Fields is less than the drop from Fields to Zach Wilson, who's our QB3.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're getting a lesser prospect in Justin Fields, but it's not as though it's like this egregious drop-off.
Right.
So where do you stand on this?
Well, the question is, okay, so I get a better quarterback with Lawrence, but I think the drop-off from Diggs to Fuller is pretty big, right?
Well, and I'm not sure the fit. I like the fit of Fields' style of play with Diggs more than I like the fit of Fuller's style of play with Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
I agree. Yes, I do. I'm going Fields and Diggs.
Trevor's success down the field, so much of it was big-bodied guys who go up and get it.
With the ball. Yeah, back shoulders. And yeah. I'm Fields and Diggs.
I think I am too.
Would you rather, for the Ravens, pay Ngakoue and draft Bateman or sign Allen Robinson and draft Ojulari?
Robinson and Ojulari.
Disrespect for my guy, Yannick.
Do you feel strongly about the other way around here?
No, I don't. That's the problem. I like Bateman. I haven't cross-referenced Ojulari yet, so I'm going to wait and answer this one after I get a chance to do the formal deep dive on Ojulari. But I love Yannick Ngakoue as a player. I really like Rashad Bateman. He's wide receiver 4 for me. If you're not including Kyle Pitts, we did this on an earlier show this week, so if you didn't check that out, make sure you do. I like Allen Robinson, but $20 million for a standout wide receiver who's going to be 27. You'll get some years of peak play, but by the end of that contract, are you going to get the same thing? I don't know. So tough sell. I can't shoot for shit.
Yeah, I'm a decent shooter.
Really?
For like pickup basketball, yeah.
I'm hustle, boards, and defense. That's what I'll give you. But definitely not a 3-point shooter. Jared, would you rather have dinner with your favorite player of all time or sit silently in the war room or draft room of your favorite NFL team for a draft?
Easiest. The war room with my favorite team.
Really?
Oh, gosh, yes.
A sit-down one-on-one dinner with your favorite player of all time.
Would I rather have dinner with Bruce Smith or sit in the Bills? Yeah, I don't care about that. I want to see the draft room. I want to see the process. I want to see the board. I want to see all of that. This is not even close.
I was hoping you go the other way because I'm also going to go with the draft room.
Would Dan Marino be your pick? So if you could have dinner with any player, would it be Dan Marino?
Probably.
Is he your favorite football player? He's got to be your favorite football player. You have a signed jersey in your office.
Zach Thomas is up there.
Okay.
Jason Taylor's up there.
Who's your favorite non-Dolphin of all time?
Favorite non-Dolphin of all time? I don't know. I
don't know what my answer for this the other way around is. I don't know why I asked you that.
We're going to have to do content around that.
Yeah, that sounds like July conversation. Our favorite player of all time from each team.
Chris,
coming July 25th.
You're asking me that same question?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'll go with favorite non.
Oh, my Joe Namath's got to be my favorite Jet of all time. I don't think there's a question.
Just remember watching him play and just really enjoying waking up on Sundays and seeing Joe Namath play for the Jets.
Why? Why do you have to be that way, Joe?
Because I don't understand people that say stuff like that. Like you never watched you were not even alive for even close to his time of playing.
Okay, and there's a list of Jets that you should consider over him. Like, is the list that long?
John Abraham.
John Abraham. I mean, you want to hit me with Wayne Corbett, Chad Pennington,
Curtis Martin. Hello.
Curtis Martin. That's a good one.
John Klecko.
I mean, Darrell Revis was pretty fun when he was playing.
It's a good answer. There you go.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I might change my answer here. All right. Okay. Darrell Revis.
What do you got for us?
If you're the Panthers, would you rather trade 3 firsts and CMC for Watson, or trade 2 firsts and a third for pick 3 to draft Fields?
Trade 3 firsts and CMC for Watson, or 2 firsts and a third. Oh.
I feel like the internet's been really good the last cycle.
You got to go.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie.
We're in a good spot right now.
I think I go with the Watson trade. Yeah.
Trading. I love CMC as a player, but trading him does absolutely nothing to me to move the needle to make me regret doing the trade if I get Deshaun Watson.
Right. I don't care about that. Yeah, exactly. It's an added benefit to get out of that deal.
Right. And I think the other thing, too, is that CMC's money is pretty big comparatively to other running backs, and you basically get to take that and apply it to at least a portion of Watson's salary cap for the remainder of what CMC's contract would be. So from that perspective, it's a good salary cap move as well. They showed that they could run the ball just fine without CMC. Again, not taking anything away from the player.
And Joe, you and I talked about this with McCaffrey. It's almost like when he was there versus when he was not this past season, there was like an obligation to feature him in a certain way that I think you can make the argument made the offense less dynamic at times because everything was underneath to McCaffrey.
Yeah, they've always done that. They've always force-fed the ball to Christian McCaffrey. It's like flare route, good luck. We're throwing it to you 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Hopefully you can make 3 guys miss and produce. And he's been really productive. But I do think that he constipates the offense in a way.
Constipates the offense. That's the first time I've heard that phrasing, and it's perfect. That is perfect.
Surprised you haven't heard that. But
no, I haven't.
I didn't make that up. I stole that from Panthers fans when they were talking about Kelvin Benjamin being on the team. He said he constipates the offense, and I'm like, all right, well.
Kelvin did look a little bloated, so.
Well, yeah.
Would you rather draft Liam Eichenberg in the first or James Hudson in the second? This is fun, Joe, because these are players that both of us had within our respective regions for regional scouting throughout the course of the summer and the fall.
I mean, James Hudson's played like 11 games or something like that. I mean, I love the skill set and the trade.
You sell them as a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm kind of selling it as a good thing because we got a lot of things to overcome here. Like I know that there's not a long absorbed amount of time like at the position where some of his bad habits can't be corrected because he's like a converted defensive lineman. So I like the ball at Clay here, but I think his path to becoming a starter is going to take some time where Eichenberg's probably going to be ready early.
Yeah. And I think for the right kind of system fit, he could be a plus starter. He's not as dynamic. His ceiling might not be as high, but I know what I'm getting, and I know I can get it fairly quickly. And for the expected range for Liam Eichenberg, which is for a playoff team, you're going to covet getting that return early. So I go with Eichenberg.
If you're the Lions, would you rather take Fields at 7 or trade back with the Washington football team for 1951 and a 2022 first?
I refuse to believe Fields is getting here. I know this is all the rage, and Charlie Casserly put him at like freaking 24 to the Steelers today. Yeah. I refuse to believe Justin Fields is going to fall this far. Top 6 feels like a lock with Philly potentially being the market. You take all the appealing things about Jalen Hurts, you get a better version of it in Justin Fields.
I agree with you. I want the scenario where I get Fields at 7. I've seen a few times in the comments, and I want to get to this one. It's about if you're Denver, would you rather sign Matt Milano or draft Micah Parsons? They have the 9th pick?
Yes.
So you think Alexander Johnson's kind of your guy there at Mike. So you're looking for his running mate, where Josie Jewell just doesn't have the range to really be that player. I'm not one of those guys that sits here and like, I know Matt Milano's not going to be back on the Bills, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he's not a good player. I hate when teams like fans do that, where they like a player leaves their
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden you can't say a good thing about him because I think Matt Milano's a very good football player that made the Bills defense a lot better. The problem is I don't think the Bills can justify the contract to bring him back when they have issues on the offensive line and other things they have to address. So I think Matt Milano's a good football player. So I would like to go Matt Milano plus a cornerback, Caleb Farley, and get better at 2 spots, because if I go Micah Parsons, then I don't know, you're counting on a different path at corner, and I like the clearer course there.
So we've had this conversation as it pertains to specifically running backs, but I'd be interested in hearing your point of view on it all. And this kind of stemmed from the Aaron Jones episode of Locked On Dolphins this week, and talking about how the Dolphins have invested their premium picks. So I'm curious from your perspective, just ideologically, are you pro paying premium dollars in free agency to premium positions, or paying premium dollars to non-premium positions at a cheaper rate so that you can use your premium picks to target premium positions and hopefully get better returns on cheap rookie contracts?
Man, it's so much team to team, right?
But just, I'm asking you. You have a chance to sign a running back to a $10 or $11 million contract as compared to drafting one in the top 50 picks. And then you can take that top 50 pick and invest it into an offensive tackle or a corner or another high impact position.
Man, that's a loaded question to ask me.
I just got done working through this mental gymnastics of a hypothetical myself earlier this week. So I'm interested where you kind of fall on. I personally, I can buy into paying premium for non-premium positions because it's cheaper.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because if I pay a corner, it's 20 plus million. If I pay a running back, it's 12, 13, 14, something like that.
Well, not even that, dude. All of the Melvin Gordon's a great example, right? He was the highest free agent contract to go out and go on a new team last year. He signed for a 2 year, $16 million. All the big running back contracts are extensions with the teams that they already exist on. Joe Mixon, who's 7th in APR or APY.
So you think that switch of a team matters for like the cost?
I think it definitely. I think the running back position is one of the positions that is more immune to the rapid expansion of your salary when you hit the free agent market, because everybody's going to be bidding on corners. Not everybody's falling all over themselves to sign a running back in free agency, especially a top one. So that's how Melvin Gordon ends up signing 2 years, $16 million, and Byron Jones signs for 5 years, $83.
I'll say this about, I'd much rather pay a premium for a linebacker. I think linebacker is undersold as like a premium position.
Guys are for sure.
Yeah. I don't put running back and linebacker aren't the same to me, especially with today's NFL, where if you could play in space and cover, like, you're critical.
Chris, you got one more for us? Would you rather take Jamar Chase in the first or Nico Collins on day 2? You're tugging on my heartstrings here, but the correct answer is Jamar Chase.
I haven't done Collins yet, so I'll defer to Kyle there.
I think you'll like him. Give me another. Give me another.
You want another one?
Yeah, give me another.
Here's another one.
Would you rather Kyle Pitts in the first and wide receiver in the second, or wide receiver in the first and tight end in the second?
The drop off at tight end is significant there.
Yes.
Right? I can still get a good receiver in second round.
Yeah. Take the rare tight end.
Yeah.
In the first. It's going to do it. We made it. I was a little worried for us there for the first 10, 15 minutes. You might as well turn the camera now and show the whole world what's going on over here. He's literally been standing up there since.
Thank you, Jamie.
Oh, he saved the stream. So everybody make sure. Jamie, what's your Twitter handle?
Jamie Eisner.
At Jamie Eisner. The I comes before the M, correct?
Throws me off every damn time.
Yeah, he had to think about it with his own name. But send your thank yous for saving the Draft Dudes Would You Rather on Thursday night to at Jamie Eisner for bailing us out, because he is literally being a human antenna, although we probably could have taped that to that tree there and been just fine.
Yeah.
It's neither, hindsight's 2020, right? It's just like the draft. Oh well. Kyle Krabs, Joe Marino, Chris Schubert. We got another podcast in your feed, which is not this conversation, for you tomorrow. So hit subscribe on the podcast. Come on back on Monday. We will be back to our regularly scheduled recording programming and hopefully not using Wi-Fi potato hotspots. Thanks as always. We'll talk to you next week.